Hello everybody out there in YouTube world. Before we start, thank you very much to our new subscriber which we have today. Thank you. Bless you for subscribing to our channel. So yeah, and the response of my recent video I did, my Kung Fu Form 1, I'll be doing plenty more where that came from. Because I found out a new thing on this gimbal that my beloved got me for Christmas of last year. There's a couple of things which I didn't know it had, and yeah, I'm going to be using that new feature on it as well. So yeah, brilliant. So right, now this Let's Talk video is going to be about jealousy. Wow.
Powerful word.
Very, very powerful word, jealousy, because we've both experienced it through our lives, haven't we, Max?
Yeah, many times.
And we're talking not just many times, great deal amount, you know, on a very high level. Wow. Jealousy. My jealousy started from childhood because of coming from two different cultures. Because mixed race children back then in the 60s and 70s was unheard of, and some people were quite jealous of that. They really were, because we didn't look white and we didn't look black. You know, we had this 24/7 tan. And yeah, and we found out majority of the white side of us, the people, they were very envious of their colour. They used to say, oh gosh, we wish you had your colour. But then we had the racists who were were envious of us too, but yet they were still racist towards us. And even with some of the black people as well, we'd experienced a lot of racism from them, but yet they too were jealous of our skin complexion. So yeah, it was, you know, even some of my sisters, they went through jealousy through their school years because of the way how they look beautiful, you know, natural beautiful looks, and the girls at their school were jealous of that. I even had some of the boys even jealous of me with my features and the way how I naturally looked in my build. And when I started bodybuilding, the guys were jealous and envious of that because I was naturally freakishly strong, and they used to think that I was on the gear, and they were jealous of that. And yeah, it was, God, you know, I could never be jealous or envious of anyone at all. Never. Never, ever, ever. No matter how much that person was successful more than me, had more money than me, I support people who have worked hard through their lives. Especially if they've come down there from down the bottom of life itself and worked their way up. I admire those people ever so much. But yeah, gosh, it is. Jealousy is also a killer. People will kill for being jealous of you. They don't like to see you be successful. Through my social media platforms, I went through a lot of that. But at the time when I started, I didn't think any of it. I just being myself, and I didn't think people were jealous of me because of my martial arts talent and for who I was mixing with, because of certain things I'd gone through which brought my name up into the limelight of the martial arts world. People were jealous of that. They thought I came from a background where I was at a high level already. They didn't seem to think that I came from down there, from the lowest point in one's life to near death, and then to claw my way up and to fight my way through it, both mentally and physically, to get where I am today, and have to love and support, which has brought me to where I am right now. And how can you be jealous of someone who's gone through all that? How can you be? That's mad. These people who are jealous of just because of things like that, boy, you are messed up. You really are. To be jealous of someone who's come from the streets of life who hasn't had nothing handed to them on a silver plate.
Mm.
They've had to work their backside off 24/7, literally.
And work hard for what they've got.
Graft for
Yeah.
it, graft for it. When I was in my security career, I was up to 80 hours a week on some shifts. How many people can say that? They've banged out so many hours like that. Worked my heart off. The job virtually wrecked my feet. It really did, didn't it, Max? It
Gosh,
wrecked
yeah.
my feet. I had to basically rebuild my feet up from scratch. Take all this special medicine I had to take to get rid of the problem with my toenails, man. Oh, we don't want to go there, but that's how bad they were. All of them.
His toes are about to drop off.
Literally, yeah.
Literally.
That's no joke.
I couldn't believe
Mm.
when I saw that. Oh, God.
See what I mean? With jealousy. Gosh, what's wrong with you people out there? Just because I've, rubbing shoulders with some of the elite martial artists in the world now. I'm not one of these name dropper people. Never have been, never will be. But these people who name drop, whoa, that's not a good thing to do. There's no need to be like that in this world. To be one of those kind of people like that. Isn't it, Max?
I don't never ever name drop. I don't like people knowing I don't.
No,
But it's always been the same, hasn't it?
it has.
If somebody thinks you've got more than them,
Yep,
they want it.
they do, and they will kill for it.
And
That's
they'll
no
kill
joke.
for it.
We've seen it on
And
documentaries.
they'll actually hate you for it.
Yeah,
They don't think on the line of, oh, that guy or that girl's worked really hard to get where they are. I'm really happy for them. They don't have that mental clarity to think that way.
no,
It's a horrible, evil trait to have, jealousy. It can cause so many problems, not just to the victims, but to themselves.
themselves as well, because they become. It affects them mentally. There's something that just goes pong inside their head, and then they recover from that. They become
Yeah.
obsessive, and then it leads
Yeah.
to stalking.
They've got blinkers on them.
Yeah.
How sad is that?
Mm.
How sad is it?
Yeah.
I mean, you've had a few, haven't you?
I've lost count on how
More than a
many.
few.
Social media, it is good, don't get me wrong, but then there's some people on there who take advantage of it and they will use it against you. Everything you try and promote yourself, you have certain people disrespecting you, making horrible comments, and you've done nothing wrong. It's their mentality and the way they think.
Yeah.
They think, oh, and Andrew, oh, he's showing some love. Oh, God, he's in love with me.
Yeah.
Things like that. They take these things the wrong way.
And you have had that, haven't you?
Have it. I've had it. That's an understatement.
I mean, I'm laughing and it's not funny, really.
Not at the time it wasn't.
No.
Because I cannot be in the way that I am. A kind-natured type of person. Well, it's the way I've been brought up.
Well, you come from a big family with
Yeah.
sisters as well.
Mm.
You was treating these people like you would have spoke to your sisters, weren't you?
Yeah, exactly.
But they thought that they wanted to be with them.
Wanted to be with them, to be their
It was a nightmare.
partners
wasn't
in life. What is, gosh, what's the mentality of some people? My word. But yeah, jealousy can lead to stalking, and which it does, and it has done, and it really has done,
it? And murder,
and murder.
especially in relationships.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, if you're jealous of your partner, you shouldn't be with the partner.
No, you shouldn't be with full stop.
Nobody owns anybody.
Nope.
It's alone. That's the right to tell that person what to do.
Yep.
But through jealousy, they think that the other one's having an affair.
Yes.
And it's like a regime, isn't it?
Yeah, Regiment.
Right the way
yeah.
through.
Yeah.
It's like, where have you been?
Yep.
You're late. Oh, you're not going out with your friends. Hang on, nobody owns anyone.
No. Or you keep it on your phone.
Yeah.
Who's texting you now? I'd say
If you
no.
can't
Trust.
trust a partner,
What's the point of being?
what's the point of being with them? I wouldn't dream of picking Andrew's phone up and looking at it. It doesn't bother me. That's
No.
his phone.
Same with Max.
Yeah.
And if anything, I said, I've had a text off, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
I say, look, yeah, no.
Yeah, but you don't need to do that.
No, but this is
It
the way.
just does it.
But this is the way I am. I'm being
Um,
honest and open. What's really going on in my life to share it with my beloved.
And it's
Got
awful,
nothing to-
isn't it? There
I've
are
got
people who
nothing
are
to
going through
hide.
that. People who are going through that, I feel really sorry for you in both ways,
Yeah,
really.
yeah.
Because one's being controlled and shouldn't be. Cause everyone
Narcissistic.
isn't. And the other one's just eating away with it.
Yes.
As they say, green with it. It's a vicious circle, really.
It is, isn't it?
I mean, it's like at work, promotions and stuff, isn't it? Somebody gets promoted, then you hear people gossiping in the
I've had that.
toilets and, oh,
When I got promoted to regional trainer for a certain company who I worked for and a certain place where I looked after, mentioning no names, I found out there were some up and coming staff members, not from the place where I was looking after, but from the company I worked for. They were a bit jealous of it, really, because they were seeing me like the blue-eyed boy. They hadn't got a clue what I'd been through to get to there. You think that position was handed to me? I had to go through hellfire and brimstone, literally, to get to that level.
but it's like at school, isn't it?
Oh.
It starts at school.
I was a
doesn't it,
prefect
from
at school.
A very young age.
As a prefect at
And,
Pembrokeshire.
especially with girls, I think. I mean, my kids, I've got like male and female. And I think it's worse for the girls, especially if they're nice looking.
Yeah,
And,
it is.
it's really hard time for them, really.
Yes.
Everybody should be getting on with everybody and being happy for everybody's success, really. There's no need for anything like that, but then you get at school, it's like, oh, look at her, teacher's pets.
Yeah, I was a teacher's pet at school.
Rubbish.
And they had kids. I got bullied for stuff like that. But then when I started learning the martial arts over the years, and my confidence didn't come straight away. It took a lot of work. My confidence in the martial arts didn't probably kick until I was about 14, 15. And the bullies knew not to stop. They knew to stop messing with me.
Yeah.
I didn't hit them. If I'd hit them, boy, they would have been wrecked permanently for life. I didn't want to lower myself to that level. But they noticed that my energy took a change. Where before I'd be cowering, I'd be hiding and in myself. This time I was standing strong. The new Andrew had changed a lot. It's like when I was got featured in Combat Magazine in 2003. And this is when I was working at Beatties, because I can talk about Beatties, it's closed down now, it's no longer a viable company anymore, it's gone, it's history. So I can mention their name. And I was a loss prevention officer there. And I remember when I was featured in Combat Magazine, and I was so excited, I bought quite a few copies to give to family members and to close friends. And then when my close friends wanted me to autograph sign my feature, that was very weird doing that. But I always remember this one bully, I remember him very well, a Jamaican lad, a year older than me. And he heard that I was in Combat Magazine, and he said, I didn't know he was into the martial arts that heavy. I said, whoa, I said to him, stop there, you can stop there. What gives you the right to have a conversation with me after what you did to me at school? You've got no right to speak to me. None of you bullies have. And he couldn't apologise enough. And I said to him, I will never accept your apology. You will always be a bully, no matter what.
I mean, they know what they've done, don't they?
Yes, of course. I said, and I told them, I said, I will never forgive you for what you did to me. But you've done me a favour. You've maybe become a successful person in my own life. I may not have a lot of money, but I've become a successful person. I got featured in a world-class magazine, and I said to him, how many people you know who've done that? Just to rub the salt into his wounds. So it's people like you that create people like me. And then I just walked off.
You know, it's quite easy for people to say, oh, leave it in the past, just turn the other cheek.
It's a lot easier said than done, trust me.
I mean, I'm not like Andrew, I don't hold on to things.
But I didn't hold on to it in a
No, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I don't hold on to...
He'd hurt you by the bullying so much that, you know, you just could not sort of even bring yourself to want to speak to him, let alone conversate with him.
Have a conversation with
Yeah.
him. See, my bullying started from, and you won't believe this, from nursery. It started from nursery years at school. When I was at Heath Town nursery school. And then it carried on through the junior school years. And then up into my senior years. So I just imagine going through that bullying from young childhood age, you know. You're going back in the 70s here. I'd say that, yeah, very early 70s. Just imagine that, going through all that. And I got bullied for a lot for my skin colour as well. But I would never tell my parents. My siblings had an inclination that something was going on at school. So, and it's jealousy. With some of these bullies, it's jealousy, you know.
Of course it's
the majority
jealousy.
is jealous, being jealous.
Of course it is.
Especially if you come from a large family, and so the majority of the kids back then, the bullies really didn't have many siblings in there, where I had lots of siblings in my family, being one of 10. And some people were envious of that, coming from a big family, and they were, because when you come from a large family, you've got a lot of good people around you as well. Like my siblings.
Well, you've always got a friend, don't you?
Yeah, it's my siblings' friends are our friends within the family who have grown up, you know, around us. Especially when we moved on to Dovecotes in 1980. That's when I think things took a change for the better, for me personally anyway, when we moved to Dovecotes. But yeah, let us know in the comments if you experienced jealous people about you. Let us know in the comments, we'd love to hear it. Or to any of the videos that we posted on our channel.
Yeah.
We really would be, you know, really grateful for it, because it helps with the algorithms as well, with the videos that we've got on our channel.
Yes, it does. But anybody out there who feels jealous of somebody else, don't go there.
Don't go there, please.
Don't do it. It's not worth it.
It is not worth it.
Do you know, we all come in this world the same, and we all leave it the same.
No matter what colour we are, what part of the world
we all bleed the same.
Yep. We all do.
You know, it's just ridiculous when you think of these things. It really is.
I mean, I'm celebrating 50 years this year as a martial artist practitioner. 50 years. And I've even had people before, you know, being jealous of the things I do, but they don't realise I've had to start with nothing. I had to literally go as a young child, to go and see other martial arts people practice. When my father was in his band, and he used to practice at the YMCA club in Wolverhampton on Broad Street, I used to sneak upstairs and watch Joshy Johnson, MBE, teaching his students Waterway Karate, but I didn't know what it was at the time. I just loved it because I just really enjoy watching them and seeing them do these high kicks, and then Bruce Lee era as well that kicked in, so I was more fascinated about it. I even used to have dreams of me becoming a successful person like Bruce Lee was in the martial arts world. But yeah, and see what I mean? That's how I found my passion in the martial arts. I fell in love with it straight away. I see Joshy going with his key eyes, and you could hear and feel the power of his kicks going in when he was demonstrating them on his students. And I was to watch these And then I used to come back home after Dad had done the practice with the group and practice on my own. I used to sneak out the bedroom, make sure that there was no one around. And I used to practice my kicks and things like this. So that's when my passion started in 1975. Well, actually before that, because Joshua Johnson. So it goes back even further. Goes back even further.
See, it just goes to show you, not everybody's born with a silver spoon in the mouth, are they?
I'm a ghetto boy and always will be a ghetto boy.
Yeah, I'm a ghetto girl.
And we're proud of being ghetto people. And we are happy and proud to be ghetto people. No matter what we look like now, our hearts and soul
Always remain
will
there.
always be ghetto. And people think ghetto, yeah? No matter what colour of
Poor
creed you are.
areas, if
The
people
poor-
don't know what
yeah,
that is.
It's a very poor area, basically.
Being raised in poor areas.
Yeah. But what overcompensated that was the love in our family. That was where our true wealth of life is. The love for all of us together as a family. Can't get any better than that, baby. Money can never ever replace that.
Well, ours was the love of the community.
There you go. It's the same thing. It's still the
Because-
same thing.
Nobody had got anything.
No.
And everybody helped each other.
Yeah. But then you had everything.
Yeah,
You get
but you
what I
got
mean?
everything in that community.
Yep.
Even though you had nothing.
Materialistically.
Yeah, but we never went around feeling jealous
No. Oh gosh, no.
of other people as we
Nah.
go up.
Never have been. Never have been.
You know, I used to be really happy for people who used to be getting on.
You have come from the dregs of life.
Yeah. I really did.
Mm.
I really did.
Mm.
I mean, jealousy again. It's an illness in
It
its
is
own
a
way.
sick
It's a
illness.
sick, serious illness.
And you know what doesn't help with jealousy in today's modern era is social media. Especially one platform in particular, TikTok.
It's like relationship jealousy, isn't it? I'm on about when people are growing up.
Yeah.
And if somebody's going out with somebody and that another person wanted to go out with this
Yeah,
boy or whatever,
I've experienced stuff like that growing up.
they made that other girl's life hell.
They do.
Who was going out with the person they wanted. No, you know, don't lower yourself, even in older life, to that
That's
sort of stuff.
The
If
lowest.
somebody's going to go off with somebody, they will.
Yeah, they will.
Always remember that. They will.
They will.
Nothing will stop them.
No.
Nothing in this world will stop them.
It's true. That
You
is.
know, but you know, if you're decent, tell that person that, you know, the love's gone or
Yep.
whatever. Don't just cheat on them
That's the worst thing you can
and
do.
leave them hanging there. Give them closure. Give them closure on it. I mean, we all know there's some bad men and women out there, don't we?
It works both ways, you see.
You know, cause each other's troubles. Which there's no need for that either.
Nope.
Because just end stuff. I mean, you know, it's not rocket science, is it really?
No, it isn't.
You know, and if they're working, you just share whatever has been bought between you. If you don't own your own house.
Yep.
You got kids, share the kids, whatever. But just don't do that to people.
No, it's horrible. It's the worst thing a human could
Yeah.
do is things like that. Is cheat on them. Because it always comes out in the end.
Of course it does. It really does. It really does. But I mean, even in a relationship, men and women can be jealous of each other.
Yeah, they can be.
You know, if one's doing better than the other work-wise, or one's got done up to go out and stuff like that. We listen to it, we hear it all the time.
Yeah, we do.
You know, there's no need for it.
I mean, I worked in security as some of my subscribers now for over 30 plus years. That's a long time, you know, in one particular type of industry. And what I used to see was, especially working in the nightclub industry, man, the things I used to see. You know, the most common place in a nightclub where trouble starts, it's a domestic. It's number one. Probably still is now to this day. Number one, domestic issues within the club industry.
Again, though, isn't it, Andrew? If the two of you go out, say, on a Friday night separately with your friends, don't go to where the other one is. What's the point? Go somewhere else.
And me and Max are very old school. If you still want to have that life, don't have a relationship.
Don't have a relationship.
Sorry, if you want to go out all the time partying and with your friends and stuff like that, live a single life. Because trust me, we both know relationships and friendships with mates going out, 9 times out of 10, it don't work.
No.
It don't work, because I've seen it. I've seen it. And experienced it.
Silly.
It is.
Just damn silly, you know.
It is damn silly.
You know, if a woman's talking to your partner or a man's talking to your partner, do you know, why do people get jealous about that? If there's no trust, there's no relationship, is there?
So don't be in a relationship like that if you still want to go out with your friends. Because it don't work 9 times out of 10, and it really doesn't. And there might be some people who might disagree with us, but we know from experience, and we've seen it through documentaries, a lot of them. So what does that tell you? No, I'm sorry, but we focus on each other. Friends, that's it, they come and go. But we focus on each other. We've got a beautiful friendship within our relationship.
Yeah, because we were friends for a very long time.
For over 5 years.
Before we got together.
And then the magic happened.
Yeah. You know, you don't ask for these things to come.
Nope.
But if they're meant to be, they'll be.
They definitely will
And
be.
even then, when we was friends, he got poor Andrew who weren't well, as those who know him.
Mental health. I suffer from PTSD.
Yeah.
I've still got it now.
Those who know him will know how unwell he was. He got girls asking him out. I couldn't understand that for the life of me.
And you know what I did? On my older channel, which I don't use anymore now, but I put a video on there
Dude.
to send the message out. No means no. There was no other way of me for reaching out to them. No means no. And I even shared it on some of the social media platforms, and they were saying, "Oh, what's going on?" I'm just sick and tired of it. That's why I shared it on there.
And I mean, me and Andrew have been friends for a long time. People who followed him, I hadn't not met him face to face.
No,
They
overseas.
was blaming me.
Overseas people.
Blaming me, weren't they?
Yeah, we're talking like
Because he
people.
wouldn't go out with them.
Yeah, and these people are
Nothing
overseas.
to do with me. I weren't even with him at the time. We was friends.
And what is that word is we were talking about in this video?
Jealousy.
Because I think
Silly.
because of being in the Hall of Fame and being recognised globally, and they think, God, he's well known in the martial arts world. Yeah, I am. I'm not being bigoted about it. I'm being factual and truthful. I've been mentioned on the Black Belt Magazine's websites, the World of Martial Arts websites, and a few others. And people, when they've asked me, well, how did you get on there? I says, I didn't put myself out there to get on there. These people had seen the troubles that I'd gone through, and used the martial arts as a vehicle. I've used it as a vehicle to help me get through some of the stresses. And they realise this person is very serious about what they do. They're not one of these gimmick martial art type of people, because there are gimmick martial arts people out there, and I know for a fact there is, because I've experienced some of them in my time. And then I've got the genuine ones who are very far and few between, and you know who you are. But yeah, and so the World Martial Arts Organisation looked and thought, whoa, this guy's really dedicated to what he's doing. This is quite rare, and we're going to get him exposed in the martial arts world, and they did. And this is why I'm at the UK Martial Arts Show every year. I have been since 2018, and then when the COVID come, of course, I was doing videos and sharing them on the UK Martial Arts websites and stuff like that. So I've always been a constant provider to it.
Yeah.
And sharing my different style of what I do compared to other people, what they do. I'm one of very few people who do what I do, which is very rare, so to speak, in life. But yeah, and even people have been jealous of that. I've worked my butt off, man, and what I've achieved to where I am now, I've been through hell, both physically and spiritually.
Yeah.
And I really have, and that's why I've lived to tell the tale. So yes, jealousy. Don't be jealous of your fellow human. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Trust me.
We're all human beings at the end of the
Exactly.
day.
We're all human beings.
Whoever's got what, it doesn't matter because they
No.
can't take it up there, can they?
Exactly, and I've mentioned this before.
Yeah.
We come into this world with nothing, and we
Yeah.
leave with this world with nothing. But we do leave the world with something, which is more precious than any wealth on this planet. It's you. From within, you. That's where the true wealth will always lie. It's just, unfortunately, some of us don't see that. They don't feel it neither.
True.
This is why you got to learn how to cultivate oneself. And we can talk about that as well on another video. So I'm ending it there, Mrs. G.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's a wrap on this one. And again, we'd like to thank you to our new subscribers to our channel. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Namaste, everybody.
Namaste, everyone.
Namaste, namaste. And again, most importantly, please stay safe out there because the world is not a safe place. Being honest, is it? Not a safe place. But be aware and be safe out there. And look out for your fellow genuine human beings. Keep an eye out for them. If they need any help and support, be there for them. Or vice versa. Okay? And yes, let's get those likes going. Keep them likes coming. Yes, comments. Share the love. Try and be at peace with everybody. Gosh, boy, we need a lot of that in this world. We really do.
We do.
Yes. And just keep that chi of life flowing. Let's keep it flowing. Let's keep it moving. Let's just feel that energy. Let's feel that chi. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.